So joining us now is the author of a new book. It's called America, a Redemption Story, Choosing Hope, Creating Unity. The author is South Carolina Senator Tim Scott. And sir, thank you for your time and good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning, Bill. Good morning, Dana.
I was struck by your comment. You said, I think anyone who suggests they have any clue what's actually happening is heading in the wrong direction. So what's your clue as to what's happening in Florida?
Well, I think this is a shocking and unprecedented development as it relates to Mar-a-Lago and the raid the other day, 2 days ago. I can't imagine that this is just over Presidential Records Act. When you read through it all, it seems to me that perhaps there's politics embedded in every layer of it. Very concerning. One of the things that we hope for from FBI, one of the premier law enforcement agencies in the country, is an apolitical approach. And what we've seen over the last several years is a political nature within the FBI and the weaponizing of justice. If they can do that to the former president of the United States, what hope is there for the average person? You just talked about Scott Perry's cell phone, but the truth is that for the average person, Republican or Democrat, we should be very concerned about the developments that we're seeing today.
This is on a slightly different topic, but it is also about Americans feeling like, wow, okay, the administration has decided that we are the ones that are going to be the targets of new IRS audits. Listen to an exchange between Peter Doocy and Karine Jean-Pierre about the new Biden bill that he just passed. They called it the Inflation Reduction Act. But one of the ways that they would get there, and I want to talk to you about this on the other side of this quote, because you're a small businessman and you know what it's like. Watch here.
Do you think it's going to be popular when the 87,000 new employees hired by the IRS go around and start auditing people to pay for the Inflation Reduction Act?
So this is focused on those who are, corporate wealthy tax cheats that Republicans, congressional Republicans, wanted to defend.
So no new audits on anybody making under $400,000 a year?
Very clear, no.
Now, I guess we'll see if that's true, but
that's ridiculous,
you know what it's like. I don't know if you've ever been audited, but you are a small business person and you represent a lot of them. What do you think about this?
Yeah, well, one of the things I think is really important in this case is that the CBO, a nonpartisan organization, Congressional Budget Office, says that 90% of the revenue generated from these new IRS agents will come from people making less than $200,000. That is absolutely the exact opposite of what you just heard. Under $200,000 represents 90% of the revenue generated, and the revenue generated is around $300+ billion. As a former small business owner, Dana, the one thing I cannot do is be the human resource department, my own legal department, and sell whatever it is I'm trying to sell. This is a burden that will be headwinds for job growth and for reinvesting in your small business. I can't think of something less popular than the three letters IRS showing up in your mailbox. Ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, she talked about corporate wealthy tax cheats. And there's been questions about who's going to be audited and who will not be. They can't answer the question. If you make less than $400,000 a year, are you safe from this audit? And then there's how long is it going to take to hire 87,000 agents?
Well, it makes the IRS bigger than the Pentagon, the State Department, the CBP, all combined together, plus the FBI. So there's no good news coming to any American family as you fear the IRS already.
Senator, I read your book, America, a Redemption Story. I loved it, and today you can hear a little bit more about that on the radio as well. So you talk a lot about polarization, your concerns about that for America. You know, we're 36 hours since the Justice Department made the call to go ahead after the judge signed the warrant saying, yes, you can go ahead and raid a former president's house. How does that square with what you're trying to communicate in this new book? Because half the country, 73 million people voted for President Trump, and they're feeling like the Justice Department is against them as well.
Well, it's antithetical to choosing hope and creating unity, number one. Number two, I would say that when you read my book, America, a Redemption Story, the one thing you'll hear is the importance of a fair justice system applied to every single person equally. As a guy growing up in the Deep South in the 80s, my experiences were quite provocative around the issue of race and justice. And one of the things I talk about in the book is how things have changed, how they've evolved. We're not perfect. We still have work to do, but we are getting closer. This is actually a step back when you look at the raid. You ask yourself, if I was the President of the United States, would I expect 30 FBI agents to show up for a dispute over presidential records that we've been negotiating since June, actually since February? And the answer is, of course not. If you ask yourself, is this the treatment that we've seen for Hillary Clinton as relates to classified emails? Of course not. But if you read my book, you'll be more hopeful about what can happen when good people of good conscience have the backbone and the tenacity to enforce the laws on everyone the same. No exceptions.
Well, congratulations on the book. It's a good read, a lot of good anecdotes from you as a younger man. And I was struck by the relationship you had with your father and how you were able to just patch everything up over time. So congratulations, Senator.
Redemption for sure.
Appreciate that
Thank
very
you,
much.
sir.
Hey, it's Will Kane. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News channel on YouTube. It's the best way to get our latest interviews and highlights. And click to subscribe to the Will Kane podcast for full episodes right now.